So, as I said, tonight I've just got a few things. We've just had a fantastic September. And as you know, beautiful Michelle Cross, congratulations, Team Builder of the Month. Well done, my love. That was an outstanding effort. It really was. It blew me away. What I want to do tonight, though, I've made some notes, so bear with me. So, first of all, I also want to acknowledge that you are here and at school holidays, because really, when you think about it, unless you're actually away or out of town or can't get near an internet or whatever, it's still business as usual, isn't it? Usually the kids are in bed and all that sort of thing. But anyway, we'll forgive everyone because we love them and it's their business. So first of all, I want to talk about events. Something came up in one of my coaching calls last week, and it concerned me because this person, and I obviously hadn't portrayed to this person what events were all about. First of all, I want you to imagine that you can imagine in 19 years how many events I've been to. Like tonight, we've all just been on the call with Tamara. Can you imagine how many times I've seen that done? Whether it's live or whether it's on a Zoom or whatever. The biggest thing I can say to you guys and guide you with is this business is not about us. Not about us at all. Yes, it's great to get our check and all that sort of thing, but it's not about us. And I want to explain what I mean there. The reason I'm on there tonight is one, to support my upline who do a lot for us. Two, it was to really make sure that I lead by example. Three, the fact that when we've got fairly new people on, whether it's the call tonight that we just had, whether it's the Success Summit that we had recently that was fantastic, whether it's conference, or whether it's a live event at tomorrow's, or whatever it is, my biggest buzz, and this will be yours as well, is seeing it from the eyes of someone who's fairly new or your new person you've just sponsored. So here's what I'm saying. I wasn't on that call for me. I didn't need to learn anything, although I usually do learn something. So remember, it's not about us. And this particular person said to me that, well, she was a little bit disappointed with Success Summit because she sort of heard all that before. And that's when I explained to her, even though I got a huge amount out of the Success Summit, I heard most of it before as well. So this is when I was able to explain to our colleague that the best thing for you to do is to have a new buddy or a prospect sitting next to you, and it's what they will get out of it. And we experienced that with Nicole had Carlene there, who's a prospect, who's now a franchisee. So I bet Nicole was sitting there thinking, oh my God, I bet Carlene's impressed with that or whatever. And also I'm sure Carlene was nudging and saying, oh my God, that's amazing, etc. So that is the thing, guys. It's not about us. So, you might, even tonight getting on our Team Angels call now, you might think, oh, I'm tired, I'm a little bit unwell, but we're here because consistency, dedication, and just doing everything that you expect your team to do is what's required. So I just need to explain that to you. Always remember, when you're thinking about going to a live thing or having to get on a Zoom or whatever, it's not about you. It's about the guest you've got or someone in your team who's fairly new. It's what they'll get out of it. And what you're doing by being on the call tonight, you're practicing being the best franchisee in your team. And that will always serve you well by leading from the front. Because I can't really expect the team to do what I'm not prepared to do. I can talk and talk and talk, but if I'm not out there actually trying to have that activity and that productivity, it's a bit false. It's not really fair, even though I have got a choice. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about, and it sort of goes back to the Success Summit, I want you to explain to you how many times we've all heard comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. We heard so many people say it at the Success Summit. I'm sure Gordon Hester even said it. So, you know, I could get up there and like, I was very, very inspired by Brian Marsh. And I could compare myself and think, oh God, I wish I was clever enough to have ClickFunnels, things that they talk about. And I wish that, you know, I can even say, and I've often said, because I just absolutely adore her and she does mentor me a little bit. I sometimes think, oh my God, I wish I had Linda Evenden as my upline, Big NMD, you know, and that's no disrespect to who I've got. But it's normal. It is normal to compare. But what I want to encourage you guys tonight is rather than compare, let them inspire you. So on that note, Brian Marsh has inspired me to drop just managing the team. I'm enjoying my Juice Plus so much more. And you've heard me say this in the last few weeks, but actually spending a lot of my time building. Like today, I've sent SMSs, I've left voicemail, I've rung people. You know, I didn't feel like doing it today, but I've done a little bit today. So Brian Marsh inspired me to do that. It would be silly for me to compare myself with someone who virtually did way more than I've done in 19 years and 12 months. It's a little bit non-productive, really, unproductive. So something close to home that I really want to really explain to you as well. And it's quite interesting because I'm just counting, except for Nicole and Xavier, everyone on the call, myself as well, is under Tina and Lucy's team, leg. Okay. So even now, when we all of us see, when you guys see all the excitement in Lucy's leg and her success, wow, it's very easy to compare there, isn't it? It's so easy and think, oh my God, you know, I wish I had a leg like Lucy. Just let her inspire you. Tina and Lucy have really got this going, but they didn't always. What they did, they decided to step over the line. They bit the bullet. So basically all they did was one, I think the big turning point was that Lucy found a buddy, and Jay Martin, our owner of the company in the US, he always says the best thing you can do is find a buddy. And it's not necessarily your spouse or your partner. It's someone who gets it like you can do. Like in Lucy's team at the moment, there's a lot of community and camaraderie and excitement because they are buddies and they've found people to work with. So Lucy, whether it was by luck or consistency or being persistent, she found Michelle Bahey, and the rest went on from there. But also they're doing the 5 high-paying activities. They're really, really talking, whether it's social media or just generally. They're certainly following up because they couldn't, like Michelle, a lot of you guys don't, oh, you might have seen Lucy's post. She got 11 new customers this last month. That is outstanding. And even though I think Michelle Cross is special, you really no more qualifications or anything, would you agree, Michelle, than anyone else? You just talked more this last month. And then the biggest thing, apart from the following up and talking to, that I really, really see, I'm not so sure about that customer care. I must talk to Lucy about that and see how they're going, because sometimes you can be on a real roll, and 3 or 4 months later you notice a little bit of a dive, and it's quite often because the team as a whole aren't doing customer care. And I think we'll have a team training call again on customer care, because I don't think you can ever be inspired too much. And we have got people on the call, like someone like Nicole, who's a lot of her customers are clients, so she sees them all the time. So she's doing verbal and face-to-face customer care. Many of my customers have been referrals. One, I don't know what they look like. I don't really know that much about them except for my customer care. So what I want to say to you guys was the biggest thing, and I think Michelle, Olivia, you'll agree with this, the biggest thing that Tina and Lucy's leg is doing are events. And as Lucy said, you know, all of you worked really, really hard this last month. And it's even, you know, like facial events, smoothie events, kids' lunchbox events, doesn't matter what it is. It can even be, you know, a few people come around and just chat about health. And it's like Tamara was just saying, it can be 2 people in a coffee shop. So that's what I think. So, you know, a lot of you will be thinking, oh God, it's so good. I wish I had happening what Lucy's got happening. Just do the 5 high-paying activities, keep talking, and look for that buddy. And I know sometimes that's elusive. I'm going through exactly what you guys are going. My number one mission with my Juice Plus business at the moment is to get 3 new franchisees by Christmas. And I've taken a pact on a challenge with the other NMDs in WA. We're all trying to do what we call a restart, not for any bonus money or anything, but just psychologically. I'm trying to restart and get myself as though I was brand new to sales coordinator by Christmas. It's a big ask. I've got to get 3 new people to fast track, but I will. So that's what I'm talking about, comparison. Please don't do it, guys. Just let them inspire you. The other thing that I want to say was, you probably saw a post that I did saying that I was very, very impressed with the latest an email I got from Simon Chan. And a lot of you have heard about, especially with school holidays on, it's very easy to think, I'll get started after the holidays. As your leader, I'm totally okay with that. Why? That's why most of you do Juice Plus, so you can do what you want to do. So I'm totally cool with that. But I want you to be careful. A lot of people would call it procrastination, but I call it the tomorrow syndrome, in inverted commas. And it's interesting because I've got an article, I've tried so hard to find it again. I've had in the past a fabulous article on the tomorrow syndrome, and it's a very real disease that we can get. So what I want to do for you is just to read a little bit of you from Simon Chan's email. And basically what he was saying was that he used to, and he actually said he thinks it's even 2 or 3 years ago, he's shocked at how long he'd let it slide. Every weekend he would do an entry and write a blog. And he really loved doing it. He enjoyed it. People enjoyed doing it. And when he suddenly realized that it was 2 or 3 years, he was shocked and dismayed and really upset with himself. So he's endeavored to take it up again. Now you might think, well, I don't do a blog. But I just want you to listen to what he's actually saying, and I want you to put it in context with what has happened or what can happen to your Juice Plus business. So he says, I don't really recall why I stopped writing, but whatever the reason was, it was really lame to stop it. I think I stopped because there was 1 week where it was really inconvenient for me to write, and we could think of that as school holidays. I was traveling or something like that, and I decided to just skip that week. 1 work doesn't hurt, right? Especially if you're writing for the 51 other weeks. But the problem is, once you skip 1 week, it's easier to skip another week. And another, and another. In fact, just tonight, Craig wanted me to do a quick Facebook and Voxer message to say to you guys, I wouldn't be doing the calls tonight. I wasn't feeling well. Took 2 Panadol, put my big girl pants on, and I've done it. But I didn't do it last week because I was in Karratha, and I could have. I had internet access. I chose not to. So I thought, you know what? You guys are all my family, my second family. You'll forgive me if I'm not on par or whatever, but let's have a quick get together. So that's why we're here. So it's easier to skip another week and another and another. The exception no longer becomes the exception and instead becomes the rule. That's the scary slope that we have to avoid. It happens to our workout routines, our diets, and all our discipline. It's like prospecting and building your network marketing business. It's hard work and it takes consistency. And you decide to take 1 day or 1 week off, and then that time becomes 2 and then 3. And then you find yourself not having done anything for your business in over a week. And before you know it, you're out of the game. And I might be preaching to the converted on this call tonight, but it does happen. I've seen it happen. Interestingly, what I'm loving about Facebook is showing me that it's okay for people to come and go or come and actually leave a Juice Plus business, which is why you've always got to be, and I use the word I don't like, recruiting, but inviting people to join us. Because all the Facebook memories come up, and today I got one, and there was a photo, and it was only a year ago, and there's about 14 people in the photo, and at least 7 people have actually dropped the ball. They haven't let their franchise go, but they're not doing anything at all. They might have a few dribble of customers, but they're not joining in on calls. They're not coming to anything. They're not on Facebook. I'm totally accepting that, but it really brought it home to me. So, and as he says, and before you know it, you're out of the game. One of the best things I did every day was to do something small to keep me in the game. So I couldn't go hardcore, or we couldn't go hardcore with our prospect, with our business 7 days a week. Most of you don't even want to, and that's okay. And because life happens, and sometimes there would be a day where I wouldn't get the 1 to 2 hours to focus and prospect, but he did small things to stay in the game. Like what? Like even making one follow-up call or leaving a voicemail to a prospect. Just reaching out to just one person, even if you don't get to talk to them and leave a message, it kept him plugged in. Most distributors let themselves get distracted instead of being plugged in and day out. So how hard would it be if you made a promise to yourself that every weekday, Monday to Friday, you were going to do at least one thing? At least one thing. You might say, oh, I'm going to have Friday off. But just before you have that Friday off, blow it. I'm just going to invite Sally to that event next Tuesday night. Just one thing. Try and make it a little bit of a thing that you do every day. He also says there's definitely what else to do to stay focused in the game. There's personal development, which Tamara just spoke about. We're busy, but all of us can do 5 to 10 minutes of personal development a day, whether it's reading a book or listening to an audio book. But quite frankly, for me, I'd much rather see you do what we call a productivity thing, one of the 5 high-paying activities right up there on the top. Either talk to someone, give them information, or follow up, invite them to an event. And look, you can be a little bit lame. If that one thing is custom care, well, it's something. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you from Simon Chan, but that tomorrow syndrome definitely exists. Okay, number 4, who's heard of a 3-way call? Yeah, who's ever done one? Done dozens. We used to do them all the time, and to be really honest, until I heard Ryan Marsh and all the very successful over Easters talk about it, I thought it was a bit old hat, and I thought, oh, it's a bit embarrassing doing that anymore. It's not what we do, but they're all doing it. So basically, I would ring Michelle Cross because Michelle has got a prospect who she's spoken to and said, no, this lovely colleague of mine, Hillary, she's a former cancer nurse, and we just want to have a chat to you because we're really looking forward for people in our team, yada, yada, yada. So Michelle says that we're going to do this 3-way call. It means that you can stay there in your jammies or whatever. You don't have to come out because we're all busy at the moment at school holidays. So I would, on my mobile, ring Michelle and I would put her on hold, and then I would press add contact. Then I would ring her friend Sally. Hi, Sally, I know you've been expecting me. This is Hillary. Let me just get Michelle in on our call. Then I'd press merge calls. And so I'd say, hi, are we all here? Michelle, Sally? Great, terrific. And then we'd go in. Michelle's role would be to introduce me a little bit and then to almost zip it, because the reason she's got me on the call is to use my expertise and my experience, because she's probably been able to talk to Sally. When that one extra person says it, it is so powerful. We used to say 1 and 1 makes 11. You know, it really, really does. So what I want you guys to think about is make yourself a list of 5 people that you think you could talk into. Even if it's just to become a customer, I'm fine with that. I prefer to do my time in helping you get distributors, but that's totally okay. So, you know, and just say exactly what I said. You know how I've been talking to you about Juice Plus or the Juice Plus business? Well, someone you haven't met is Hillary, yada, 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 yada. And I was talking to her the other day. She said she'd love to meet you on the phone. It's strictly obligation free, but would you be open to it? And if so, when? And then I'll just check if Hillary's free, and then we do it. On the phone, we might be 5 minutes, we could be 25 minutes. We could be an hour if it's exciting and we're getting them revved up. It works, guys. So I'd like you to think that I am available. 3-way calls do work. Okay, and so I could also do it like I might be able to ask Bron or Tamara, or indeed I'm taking someone to go and see Michelle Nazroff on Friday. She's agreed to help me out. I've got a prospect who's into natural bodybuilding. In fact, I think Michelle recently judged her. So, you know, so it's not a three-way call, but it's asking someone to help. Okay, because 1 and 1 makes 11. Okay, so that's three-way calls. Also, how are all of you who are on the call tonight looking for the Sunday morning, the 15th of October, for it's just a catch-up workshop, couple of hours, great. That's Xavier and Nicole. What about you, Michelle? All good? Great. Tina, lovely to see you there, Tina. You hope you can come. Livy, now that you're not in Canberra. Sorry, Marnie, you can't come, lovey. But do you know something else too? I just remembered before I go on about that workshop, Marnie, I want to bring you into the conversation when I was talking about comparison. You guys have to consider, here's Marnie, she's on this call, it's 11, well, it's nearly midnight over in Canberra. Well done, Marnie. But Marnie's over there, so far she hasn't got any team. But the best thing she can do rather than compare to being, oh, I'm in Tina and Lucy's leg, but, you know, I wish it was over there. The best thing Marnie can do is start to get a little team happening, preferably a big one, Marnie, and then they can have their own little things. And the leaders, Tina and Lucy and Olivia, and that, we can actually zoom into her lounge room and have a chat one time when she's having a meeting, or go on a Zoom with her little community. So that's the thing. Be inspired by other people, don't compare. Sorry, Marnie, I meant to bring you into that before. So the workshop, I haven't actually got an agenda for it yet, but I think it'll be great to see each other, only be for a couple of hours. And the reason we're doing this is that I spoke to, you know, it's easy for some of us old ones to say, oh, no, we don't need that, or I don't want to do that. But speaking to some of the new ones at the summit, they just bounced and I said, that would be great. So we'll work out a few really good topics and have some morning tea. Okay, so that's the workshop. So I will actually do a post for that it's definitely set in concrete. Okay, also the end of year event. I'm not really concerned about where it is this year. Like last year, we sort of did in Fremantle because we had a lot of people stepping up down south. That doesn't seem to be the case at the moment, so it doesn't matter where it is. Lucy's not on our call tonight, but I've got a funny feeling she did say that she wouldn't mind having it at her home with the pool, etc. But I think this year, last year was like a very grown-up thing. This year I'm thinking of doing some sort of, like we did the year before, I think it was, like we did a picnic and kayaking and all that sort of thing. But I think we'll just do a good old-fashioned family picnic and maybe do a Secret Santa for the children or whatever like that. So stay tuned, but I will work out a date for that. If anyone's got any ideas or suggestions you'd like to put forward, please don't hesitate to contact me. Okay, the last thing was, what I'm looking for at the moment is feedback. Feedback, as long as it's constructive. It doesn't matter if it's really saying, oh, I think we could do this, that, and the other better. I'm really open to that. But I would like topics for our team training call. I am thinking of doing one where it's it's not just me, but it's ask us anything. So obviously I'm going to have a few questions prepared, because most of the time when you do something like this, we all sit there like stunned mullets with no questions. But, you know, it can be something like, guys, if you had a customer say this, that, and the other, what would you say? Or in the case of this, what would you send a customer if they asked you about this, or whatever? Objections, all sorts of things. So any topic suggestions I really would like. There's a lot of things you can't do on a Zoom call. Like, I think it would be really silly to do virtual office. That needs to be part of a workshop. And we can actually do all that, even just a quick refresher. People can just have a quick crowd around my laptop, or we'd do it on the screen upstairs and do a bit of virtual office exploring. I'm just looking now. Oh yeah, and tonight I was going to do a little bit more, but I can see the time's approaching 9 o'clock, so I'll do that next time. Before we actually go, let me just see chats, because I haven't been looking at it. I'm sorry. Do it. Totally. Oh, okay, I understand, Tina. Okay, that's fair enough. Now, Xavier, do you understand a three-way call now? And everyone does? Okay. Is everyone quite keen to maybe try that? Yep. Beautiful, Marnie, especially being over there. Michelle, don't be shy. You feel a bit corny at first. You think, oh, God, they'll think it's one of those things. That's when you know you've got to go and shore up your belief in the industry. So you can be saying, oh, my God, went to the Success Summit. We found out the most amazing statistics. Not a lot of my friends do network marketing like I do, but my God, the statistics are in. With so many people out of work and normal employment not so good, there's so many people who've joined, and then go and get your Gordon Hester notes, rattle off the stats. Even let the person see that you're reading them out. Just say it blew me away. And I know I've spoken to you about the business before. I'd love you to have a chat to someone who mentors me, which is usually me, or it could be Lucy, or it could be anyone. Okay? Right, so that's all right for the chat. So I'm just going to stop the recording.